Hello! Good to see you guys again. Today's topic is going to be struggle. Struggle. I've taken the artistic liberty to change the title slightly to Struggle with Life. Struggling with life? Question mark. With the work with Andre and I, we're always looking for ways to blend the guidance from our higher self, soul self, God, all that is, Earth, Mother Earth, angels, spirit world, whatever you want to call them. We're looking for ways that you can, day in and day out, take guidance from the all that is and blend it with the past, with your already rehearsed decision-making process from the personality self. So if you're in a state of struggle, be it grief, boredom, chaos of any kind, what you're doing isn't working, right? It isn't working. Hello. So what that means is we're going to have to do something different. You can't stay in this doing this and expect change. So what we need to do is say, I want to change. And to do that, it's going to take a little bit of work. The skills that you're using are not allowing yourself to become focused. So when you're in a state of chaos, which is what downward flowing energy is, no matter what its name is, it's chaos. So if you're in a state of chaos, if you're in a state of depression or grief or what all of these are, you're also scattered. And so what we want to do is focus our thought energy in a different direction, in a new direction. That's all it is. Ha! Easy for me to say, right? Just simply think something else. Nah, that's not where we're going with this. We want to regroup our energy, yes. The direction that we want to go is something initially is going to be different than what we do long term. So initially, what I'd like for you to do is take your mind's eye and think of your whole life as a big play, a long play, birth to current. When you sit with that and just look at your life, just kind of go through it in your mind's eye, that automatically is going to shift your energy thought, your thought energy. So what we're trying to do is get out of that downward spiral for just a few minutes. Give me this here. I'm going to go out of the downward spiral by looking at our life picture, our whole life play. All right, so we're taking a deep breath, we're relaxing into it, and in our mind's eye, we're thinking about our life. Now I want you to take a chunk out of that life, a chaos chunk. One that isn't a number 10 crazy, but just one that was bothersome. So you want to pull that out, and then you can let the rest of your life be on its merry way. Bye. So you're now going to chew on just this small bite. And I want you to look at the beginning of that downward spiral energy you were feeling at that time, the middle, and then the end of it. When did it start? Why did it start? How did you cope? And then at the end is, how did you get out of it? Chaotic times are educational tools for us. They're jewels. And so by looking at this, you're actually shifting your energy. I am the creator of my life. What can I do different? I am not a happy camper right now. And I'm ready to do something different. So I want you to get your piece of paper and your pencil, not your pen, and write down what is going on today. You've taken this chunk of the previous and you've set it over here in your mind's eye. Now get out a piece of paper, and that pencil that is not a permanent marker, it is a temporary thing. It has an eraser on the other end, and you write out everything you're feeling, observing, anything about what's going on in your life right now. No judgment on this. So just start writing, just crazy write. Don't worry about spelling, just crazy write. And then look at it and say, hey, am I in a rut? Maybe you are. Write it down. Am I in a state of grief? Am I in a state of depression? Am I bored? What is going on with me? And write. You want to write as many lines, and I just put one idea on each line. Don't just fill up paragraphs because it's too hard to go back and look at later. Just one line item. Then I want you to sit with one of the line items that you've written down about what's going on today or the past week or whenever this situation started for you, when this feeling of struggle started. I want you to find one of the line items, doesn't matter which one it is, and feel it. Read it silently or out loud if you're by yourself. Read it out loud. Say it a couple of times. Find the energy in your physical form that's resonating with what you just said. It's going to be housed in your body somewhere. It could be in your shoulder, I guess. So, I've read a line. I feel it in my throat center. Am I having trouble expressing myself properly? Do I feel shut down because of this? Oh, I feel it in my heart. I'm so sad. This line item I'm feeling in my solar plexus. All of these areas, or wherever you focus it to, wherever you find it, it's going to be an area of energy that's being crimped. There's no flow. It isn't bad, it just is. So, open that area up. Let the flow come into it. You are the boss. How do you do that? How do I increase the flow? Make it bigger. Big is good. Size matters. Make it big. If it's your throat center, and close your eyes if you want. Imagine that the energy is flowing out in all directions, not just this way, go this way, go that way. It's a big circle of energy that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more beautiful. Whatever makes you smile as far as what it looks like. Your heart, same thing. Heart center. Solar plexus, make it bigger. Find the area that is constricted and make it bigger. Now, what you may find is that you do that and you're like, oh, cool, this is working. And then you stop and it goes, boom. And that's okay. It's all a learning process. This is fun. Isn't this fun? I'm having fun. Do it again and play with the energy. Make it more fun than the crazy negative self-talk you had a few moments ago. Give it pizzazz. Give it a reason. Give it something for your ego to play with rather than playing with all the negative stuff. Okay, so we have our line item and we've played with it and we've figured out a way to make it stay big. Now go to another line item and then another one. So you're going to do the same thing with all of these. You may find that some of the line items are easy, no problem at all, and other ones are the big ones. And so you could highlight those and say, ooh, I'm going to work on this one again later because I'm getting tired of doing this. Find the line items that really bother you. Then find where they bother you. Then shift the thoughts energy, the thought energy that created that constriction. By playing with it, with love and total acceptance. Do not judge yourself when you're doing this. You are your own best friend. Remember? You can look in the mirror and find that part of yourself that is perfect and say, I love you. That's your homework. Remember that from previous. I love you. And you are worthy of my work. I'm going to work on this because I've spent so many years working on creating chaos in my life that I can attach to easily. I can hang my hanger on in the hook really easy or put my towel on the hook. But I haven't really spent a lot of time fine-tuning my skills at finding joy in my life. It would just happen to me once in a while, and I'd ride with it for a bit, and then it would go away. Oh, it's gone. Bummer. Let's shift that. Let's change it. Let's say I'm going to put the energy that I was putting into creating chaos or playing with chaos in my solar plexus or wherever. I'm going to play with making energy big and beautiful in my life. I'm going to go through this list. I'm going to find out where I am. Remember, you don't grow when you're comfortable. So this isn't a bad thing that you're needing to do. This is a significant time of your life. You have at your fingertips some skills that can change your entire path going forward. But it takes work. It takes energy thought, which is time, right? Again, you've given time to this other stuff and it hasn't worked for you. So get off that wagon and get on this one. So your paper is full. And you are not judging it. You're just observing it. You're not worried about anybody reading it. It is just crazy thoughts, and you've got it down. Now, I want you to get another piece of paper out with your pencil and start writing down the things that used to bring you joy. You can go back to the big picture because I want you to do it from childhood to now. I don't care. Crazy thought. I saw a balloon, the hummingbird, eating chocolate, anything. Fill that page up. Hopefully more than the first page. I want everything that brings you joy. Anything that makes you smile, even in the smallest amount. Even if it's a teeny tiny thing and you barely smiled. Remember it and put it on this paper. While you're writing this, stop, relax, take a breath, get big to find all that joy. When you are in this state, you are refreshing your connection to Source. Source isn't going to help you with chaotic stuff. They're not going to create chaotic things for you. But as you're thinking joyful thoughts, your connection to Source expands. That's where I like to stay. And I'm pretty successful at it. But there are definitely times where I get into doldrums or I feel depressed. Now, when you're labeling what you are in a state of, go to the dictionary or go online and find the definition for whatever words you've chosen, because it may not be right. And if it isn't, find another word. Because sometimes we block things together that really don't belong together. So like the first list that we made of where we are now, what's wrong with our life, what are we feeling, what's going on? Sometimes you could have made 2 lines out of 1 thought, because really it was 2 thoughts. So try to separate all those out because they become less powerful. We don't want energy supporting things. We want to flow. It's all about the flow. So you've written down this joy stuff that you've had from beginning of your life to end, or not end, till current. Sorry about that. Look at that list with open eyes, eyes wide open, they call it. Get big, get connected, ask for guidance. Look at this list. Oh my goodness, look at all these things in this earth, on this earth plane, in this earth plane that bring me joy, that bring me peace, that make me alive. You see, chaotic energy, your personality thinks, is what's making you alive, because it can feel it. But you're telling the universe, this is the energy I now want to focus on. I am going to make these energies bigger, more flowing, big movements. And on that list is going to be a few items of passion. Find the items of passion. Look at them with eyes wide open and feel that passion you had when you were doing that activity or thinking about that activity or whatever a line item is. Feel the passion. Figure out where it is. Make it bigger. Bigger. Passion, let me say it this way. When you meet somebody that has passion about something, you're attracted to them. And that's an upward flowing energy. So this is real stuff, guys. Find passion. Play with that passion until it is bigger. Fake it till you make it. I think that's a saying. So passion about anything that brought you joy can help you shift out of the doldrums that you're in. Now, be careful. You don't want to say, oh, I loved golf, but now I can't play golf because my knees are bad. So, we got to be careful with this. The golf could be on your list, great. But for this next step, find something passion that you can feel passion about that you could possibly step back into. Now, if you can't find anything on the list that you can do today, take one of them and skew it slightly. So maybe it isn't golf, but maybe it's teaching high school kids how to play golf. Maybe it isn't quilting because your hands are uncomfortable, but it could be designing patterns for quilts or helping new quilters. Do you see where I'm going with this? Passion can be big. Don't lock yourself into being little. If you were stressed doing this activity, but you really felt passion doing it, separate the stress and say, wow, I could do that if I shifted. Maybe I do it with a smaller group of people so it's not so chaotic. There's not so much noise in the room and craziness going on. Maybe I could do something that brings me passion that is not exactly the same that I used to do. So, all of this paper pencil has been shifting us. All of the time that we put into it has been shifting our focus into a very organized, flowing focus. We have a job to do. We were first writing down what was going on, then we're looking for joy. So in other words, we're not scattered. When you find yourself scattered, you do things like drop things easily. You're very forgetful. Time just gets out of you, hey, where did the time go? That kind of thing. So watch, and if you find that that's what's going on, go back to one of these little projects. You can always add more to one of them, because every time you do that, you're shifting your focus. So we've written down all this stuff. There may be an argument inside coming from inside, but I'm depressed, because see, your personality self-ego that was enjoying being depressed, you were allowing that energy to get bigger in you. I'm sorry to say that, but there was a part of you that was enjoying the ride. It may be extremely difficult to find. So whether or not you want to go there or not, that's your business. But understand that habit can be broken. And you can choose to say, I now am going to, goodbye. Thank you very much for helping me get to where I am today. Thank you so much for helping me live my life with my eyes wide open, because that's what I'm choosing to do now. I am not going to stay in a state of being attracted to downward flowing energies. I no longer allow that to happen. You are the boss of your thoughts. Yeah, they get away from you. rein them back in, just like a 2-year-old. You don't let the 2-year-old just go crazy in the house. You keep them from breaking things and sneaking out the window and killing the dog or hurting the dog or putting their face in the toilet. All these things, you know, you don't let a 2-year-old just go crazy. Why do you think it's okay to allow those thoughts to take you over? You're picking them up and saying, bye. I'm going to my joy list right now. Thank you very much. Put a lot of energy into finding passion, things that do bring you joy, that you feel passionate about. If you don't know what passion feels like, go look it up in the dictionary. Find what it means and play with that in your body. Say, oh, I'll find something, you know, I've never been one to do that, but I'll work on that. And because there are people that have lived their lives pretty much like this, which is fine. But today you're choosing to say, no more struggle. I'm the boss of my thoughts. My thoughts create. I know I'm a powerful creator because look what I've done. I've been in a state of struggle. Oh my goodness, am I good or what? But now I'm going to bite off something new. I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to find a passion, no matter how small it is, that I can actually enjoy. And whenever that one kind of goes, I'm going to find another one because I'm going to keep my joy list. That's the one I'm going to focus on. I don't know if I'm going to keep my negative list. That's a choice. Because my thought is that eventually this list is so big that you can't even find this piece of paper. It's buried somewhere. And that's okay. You don't have to focus on why you're the way you are to go to the joy page. We just wanted to figure out where it was housed, allow that energy to be released, and then to move to the next page. This is time. It does take time. But again, you are worth it. You are a valuable being of light. Whether or not you feel it, please don't go there. If you don't feel it, too bad. Because I know better. You are such a gift to this world. The light you create, the energies you are creating moment to moment to moment, especially those when you're aware of your connection to your higher self, are all encompassing. You influence whether you know it or not. And now it's just time to choose to say, all right, I'm ready. If you're in a state of grief, remember the joy you had when that individual or being was in your life. Go there. When you start feeling sad because that individual or being is gone, respect that and then say, but I remember the time we did X. We had so much fun. We went here, we did this. If it was a person, they said the funniest thing here and I laughed and laughed and laughed. Or if it's a pet or a relationship type of thing, oh my goodness, we had so many good days together. I value the energy. I value the energy from that relationship more than I value the energy from my grief state. That's a big one. Which one do you want to put on a pedestal? I'm going to honor the memory of this individual with joy and compassion and honor that I had this part of my life happen. I'm going to focus on the joy energies, and I will allow the grief energies to slowly dissipate from my awareness. The choices we make day in and day out affect our lives in ways you and I really just can't fathom. It seems so simple. Actually, it is simple. It seems so obvious that we can't even see it. Does that make sense? Making decisions day in and day out is what we've done since we were babies. Cry when we're hungry or wet, or when we, hurt ourselves. That was a decision. So we've done decision making for so long. It's just the way we do it. We just live it. But with this work, you're saying, my master creator, my spiritual warrior is now going to take over. My thought habits will be upward flowing because I deserve to put the time, energy into making myself happy. Nobody can make you happy. No one can take you out of a state of struggle. It has to come from inside of you because that's where the struggle is. It's not here. It's all thought. Thought energy is powerful. Your struggle thought energy is powerful. But joy energy can be more powerful the more time you put into it. I hope some of this resonated with you. Love and light to you and your path. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.